Now let us continue with Angular 14 to 15. Firstly, we will check that first box and we'll continue with Angular now uses TypeScript 4.6. Read more about any potential breaking changes. If you are interested in what has changed in that version, you can of course take a look on it. But yeah, it only says that it's using now 4.6. Then it says we should make sure that we have Node version 14.15 or later. We will quickly take a look on which version we are using. We can make that by npm v to see the npm version or node to see the node version. In my case, I use node version 20, which is above the needed version. And yeah, that's the reason why it works for me. I will quickly start the application again, that we can check that. Then form models now require a generic type parameter. That's something that Angular most of the time doing itself if you call ng update. Then yeah, it has some special cases that in our case we don't have. We can quickly check that by copy that stuff and then searching for that, and you see we have no results. Remove headers. Yeah, there are some special cases that you have to check for your application to be sure that the version is correctly updated. Yeah, and some explanation that you know what you can do or what you should avoid in the new versions. Yeah, make sure you're using the supported version. In my case, version 20 worked fine, which means, yeah, I will check that. So, I think now it's important that, yeah, we know that TypeScript now using 4.8 in the version 15. Ready to learn Angular 19, 20 and 21. This course covers everything new in these latest versions. From hydration, event replay, resource API, signal forms, we cover it all. You will get a complete playground app showcasing all features. Plus, we will build a weather app from scratch to implement everything hands-on. Full source code for both projects included. Check the link in the description. And we will do the same as before. We copy that code, go in our console, paste that in, and as I already have said before, we will force that comment, and also we will use the npx because I not installed Angular globally. So now after the installation, you can already see that Angular again runs through some migrations. And as you can see, if you have Git installed, you see that it has changed a few things in some files, but overall it's not really that much. And you can see that there are some versions that get updated. So what we now will do is we will quickly check if it can be started. So, and now we see an error. This version of CLI is only compatible with Angular version 14, which was found instead. Yeah. So now, like, because I know the project a little bit, I know that, yeah, we often have some versionings that has to be changed. I will again go with the approach that I typing something in and then checking. Yeah, here for example, there is no new version of this package. Yeah, that one is up to date, and we will check here that I will go with 15. Here's the major, so, and then we can go through the whole list. If you see that in my part it's like 18 could be the newest one, and yeah, that mostly supports me with updating all of the dependencies to the right versions. Yeah, and if you go with that approach, you will always see the right versions. Yeah, here I think it will also be 15. Now I get some errors that it tries to use Angular CDK 13.2.4, but yeah, as it says that it has issues with some other versions, then we will quickly take a look on the CDK, and yes, as you can see, we have here some version issues because it's not for the right version. So then let us try again. Okay, now we have again an issue with an package named icons Angular here, and yeah, as it looks like it has to be a matching version. Yeah, and again, yeah, most of the time you have to update all versions to be matching with the, yeah, here it's this one. Okay, yeah, and that's like the repeating process you're doing if you're updating a own project by hand. So now we will try again to start the application. I think the main problem with the starting was this custom Webpack library that get used here. But yeah, let us see. So now we can take a look if the application is available again. Then let us check if the Angular version is now 15.2. That's nice. And yeah, we can click on that stuff. We can click here, like the routing works fine. We can go back, can drag stuff from one column to another. We can filter stuff. Yeah, looks very decent for me. We can quickly check if the editing works. Save that, and it works. Alright, then let us go quickly over the list. Compiler prefix keyframes with the component scope. Yeah, that's some tips that you can now use with Angular 15, but yeah, we of course want to go to 17, which means yeah, that's stuff that we can use, of course, but yeah, the focus of this course is not to go over each version and check or implement the newest good approaches. Yeah, here we can quickly check if the file, no, if this tsconfig file here has still the enable ev, and yeah, it's not there, which means it's fine. Yeah, there are some good approaches, but yeah, as I said, like it's most likely about how to migrate and then use the newest features of Angular 17. But yeah, that's all stuff that you should know and you should use if you're using version 15. So, yeah, we will quickly go over that stuff, because most of that stuff will lead to errors if you start your application. Yeah, this thing, for example, should be provided in root. We can quickly check if this is used somewhere. No, I think that it's mostly used like provide in root. Yeah, most of that stuff is really some old stuff that get deprecated over the time. Yeah, exactly that we have done. And then we can continue with migrating to Angular 16.